All right, so if you've ever built an application with a large language model, an LLM, you've probably had that amazing moment. You write the perfect prompt, that one magical instruction, and boom, you get a flawless response. It feels like you've unlocked a superpower, right? But then comes day 2 and day 3, and that's when the magic starts to get a little messy. So what happens when that magic needs to be reliable, scalable, and manageable? Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today, this crucial shift from just engineering prompts to actually managing them.
Okay, so here's the game plan. First, we're going to talk about the hidden costs of prompts, the stuff that bites you after the initial fun is over. Then, we'll look at the big shift from engineering to management. After that, we'll break down the pillars of a solid prompt management system, take a tour of the tools out there, and finally, we'll peek over the horizon at the future. Automated prompts. Let's get into it.
That first high of working with LLMs is just incredible. But it doesn't take long for that excitement to turn into some serious operational headaches. All those simple prompts you wrote, suddenly they're creating these huge bottlenecks. And that magic? It starts to feel a lot more like a liability.
And this quote, this gets right to the heart of the problem. Think about it. We're trying to build professional, predictable apps on top of a technology that is, by its very nature, unpredictable. How do you manage a system that can give you a different answer for the exact same input? It's a totally different ballgame than traditional software engineering. Okay, this slide right here, this is the aha moment, or maybe it's the uh-oh moment for a lot of teams. On the left, you've got the day 1 chaos. This is where your prompts are just buried deep in the code base. Every tiny little tweak needs an engineer, a pull request, a whole deployment cycle. It's just so slow and brittle. But then look at the right. This is where the pros are heading. Prompts are treated as a real system, centralized, versioned, collaborative. This is the pivot from just constantly putting out fires to actually building a solid architecture. So here's the big takeaway. We have to stop thinking of prompts as these disposable little strings of text. They're not. They're valuable, durable assets. And this isn't just some small change in process. It's a fundamental shift in how we think about building with AI. Let's dig into what that actually means for the work we do.
So, prompt engineering. This is where everybody starts, right? It's kind of like being an artisan. You're carefully crafting a prompt, tweaking a word here, adding a comma there, just trying to coax the perfect response out of the model for one specific task. It's a crucial skill, for sure, but it just doesn't scale. You can't run a whole company on one-off, handcrafted prompts.
And that brings us to prompt management. This is the next level. This is where you take that art of prompt engineering and you build a robust system around it. It's the difference between a craftsman making one beautiful chair and building a factory that can produce thousands of high-quality, reliable chairs. It's about industrializing the process.
And I love this quote from MIT Sloan because it just nails the endgame. The goal isn't to have one heroic prompt whisperer on your team who has all the magic knowledge. No way. The real goal is to build a system of reusable, reliable templates that your entire team can use. That's how you get consistency and quality without having to reinvent the wheel every single time.
Okay, so what does a real prompt management system actually look like? What's it made of? Well, it really stands on 4 key pillars, and each one is designed to solve those day 2 problems we were just talking about. The chaos, the bottlenecks, all that stuff. Pillar number 1 is version control. And honestly, the best way to think about this is Git for prompts. It's that simple. You need to track every change, see who made it, and most importantly, be able to roll back in a heartbeat if a new prompt version breaks something. This is what saves you from the nightmare of managing prompts in random text files or buried in code comments. Pillar number 2, evaluation. Look, you can't improve what you don't measure. It's an old saying, but it's truer than ever with LLMs. A good system lets you test a new prompt against a trusted dataset, a golden dataset, so you can prove with actual data that your change is an improvement before you ship it to users. Third up, observability. This is all about seeing what's happening in the wild. How much is this prompt costing us? Is it running slower than the last version? Is it throwing more errors? Observability gives you that dashboard view into the health of your prompts in production, so you can spot problems before they blow up. And the fourth and final pillar is collaboration. And this one is huge. Because let's be real, the best person to write a prompt often isn't an engineer. It's the product manager, the marketer, the domain expert, maybe even the lawyer. A good system gets the prompts out of the code and into a place where these experts can work on them directly. That right there completely breaks the engineering bottleneck. Okay, so we have our 4 pillars: version control, evaluation, observability, and collaboration.
The big question now is, how do I actually do this? And that's where the tools come in. Now, they all share the same goal, but they approach it with some really different philosophies.
First, you've got the code-native approach. Think of tools like MoroScope. The philosophy here is pretty clear. Prompts are a form of code, so let's treat them like code. Everything is handled right there in your Python files, versioned with Git, and it gives developers this really tight loop of control and traceability, all within the tools they already use every day. Then you have the complete opposite philosophy, the collaboration-first platform. Tools like PromptLayer are a great example. Here, prompts aren't treated like code, they're treated like content. You manage them in a visual, web-based interface, kind of like a CMS for prompts. And the big win here is that it completely separates prompt updates from your engineering releases, so the whole team can get involved.
And the third flavor is the integrated platform. Think LangSmith. This is the one-stop shop approach. The goal is to give you a single hub for the entire LLM app lifecycle. So that's prompt management, debugging, evaluation, monitoring, the whole shebang. These are often tightly coupled with a specific framework, like LangChain in LangSmith's case.
So this table kind of sums it all up. And what you should see here is that there's no single best tool. It's all about your team's DNA. Who are you? Are you a deeply technical, developer-first team that lives and breathes code? Then maybe a code-native approach is for you. Or are you a cross-functional team where product managers and marketers need to iterate fast? Then a collaboration platform might be the ticket. Your team structure really points you to the right tool.
Okay, so we've gone from messy prompts and code all the way to these sophisticated management platforms. That's a massive leap forward. But where does it go from here? What's the next frontier? Well, it's probably not a huge surprise. It's getting the AI to do the work for us.
No, seriously, just think about this for a second. What if you didn't have to sit there manually tweaking and A/B testing prompts? What if the system could just automatically find a better, cheaper, or faster prompt for you, maybe even while you're asleep? This isn't some far-off sci-fi idea. It's actually starting to happen right now. And this is basically how it works. It's a simple but really powerful loop. You evaluate your current prompt to get a baseline score, then you use another AI with a meta prompt to look at the failures and suggest improvements. You test that new suggestion. If it scores better, you keep it. If not, you toss it, and you just repeat that over and over. It's literally like survival of the fittest, but for your prompts.
And this brings us to the most important takeaway of all, especially if you're building with AI. As these systems get smarter and more automated, our jobs are going to change. The most critical skill won't be about crafting the perfect prompt sentence by hand. It's going to be about designing the perfect evaluation system. You'll be the one creating the data set and defining the metrics that teach the AI how to improve itself. You basically go from being the artist to being the curator of the museum. And that is a way more scalable and, frankly, a much more powerful role to be in.